Alex Hormozi is probably one of the biggest influencers at the moment when it comes to business advice on YouTube and various social media platforms. And he's recently invested into a website called Skool. To put it simply, Skool is a platform that allows you to build a private community area that is essentially like a Facebook group, but you have much more control and flexibility over how you manage and run it. You can also charge for paid access to closed off areas within the community on a monthly subscription, which allows you to generate additional income. Now, I personally have over 750,000 followers across the internet and around 500 million views across the videos that I have made, and I've been selling online courses since around 2020 and 2021, and I've tried out every single platform to find the best one when it comes to hosting these programs, and I personally use Kajabi. Now, Kajabi is probably one of the biggest competitors to Skool, and that's because they are both trying to create the best online community area. Now, Kajabi has a bunch more features that it offers than Skool does, but obviously Kajabi recently purchased and acquired Vibely, one of the biggest competitors to Skool, and now we have Kajabi Communities 2.0 with a bunch of advanced features that really takes it to a whole nother level. And this has left me thinking, should I switch over to something like Skool or stay with Kajabi when it comes to hosting the online community elements of an online platform like this? And in this video, we are going to break down everything you need to know about Skool and what it actually means Alex Hormozi buying and purchasing into this app. Now, I'm going to be completely honest. I think there's a lot of hype, almost too much hype at the moment when it comes to Skool, all because of how loyal Alex Hormozi's fan base is. Now, I'm a huge fan of his content. I watch pretty much every single video he uploads. I've read both of his books as well, and I agree with a lot of the advice that he shares online. I must say, however, there's a little bit of irony that comes to this acquisition because obviously, he says he would never sell an online course and all that type of stuff. And no, you shouldn't sell online courses. But then he invests in a platform that allows you to sell online courses and knowledge to people, which I just think is a little bit funny. No disrespect to the guy, but it's kind of hilarious. Anyways, you've got to be super careful with the videos that you're watching at the moment that are going to try and sign you up to Skool, because there's a lot of invested interest in people finding success on this app. And that's because of the game that Alex Hormozi has created. It's called the Skool Games. And essentially, there's a bunch of prizes that give this app a little bit of an unfair advantage compared to all of its competitors. So for example, the communities that are the fastest to grow to $10,000 per month in revenue will be flown out to Vegas to meet Alex Hormozi and spend a day with him to learn all about the different feature sets and improve their business and basically get consulting and business advice from Skool and also Alex Hormozi directly. In addition to this, people who refer you to the Skool platform link, by the way, I will leave a link down below in the video description, but if somebody uses that link and then they also get $10,000 per month and achieve that success, the person who referred you to Skool will get to go with you on that trip, which again means you're going to have a bunch of people telling you that this is the best platform in the world. Just so you use that link, they get the affiliate commission, and also they potentially get to go to Vegas if you are that guy that wins. But regardless of all of this, in this video, I'm going to break down an honest comparison to the likes of Kajabi, Podia, and all of the other platforms that I've tried, Teachable, and see where this actually realistically sits in the market and if it is worth using. Now, the first thing I want to get out the way is the pricing on Skool. Right here, you can see it's $99 per month, and they claim it's one of the cheapest options for what it's offering. Now, for your $99 per month, you get access to one group, which is basically one community area that you can set up like this, and then inside of there, you get access to all the features, which is like the worst sales page in the world. Like Alex Hormozi teaches you so much about sales pages. What are the features, mate? All the features. I had to go on Google and literally type in Skool, what are the features, to then be taken to this separate landing page that you can't just click on here to then try and figure out what all the features are. So all the features consist of a community area, classrooms, calendar, so linking it up to Zoom, we'll show you all this in a moment, gamification, broadcast to emails, a private chat area, metrics, search, and affiliate stuff. So nothing really crazy. Exactly what you'd expect essentially that this would have. It's a closed-off community area, private messaging in a group. So that's what you get with all the features. Then you also get unlimited courses and unlimited members, which of course compared to something like Kajabi is pretty good because you get limited members on here. You can only have like 10,000 active students and a limited amount of products at any given time. And then finally, we've got the transaction fees. Now I'm going to talk about the transaction fees in a moment because Skool are actually lying about these transaction fees and it's incredibly irritating. But first, let me show you how I currently host my online courses on Kajabi. So this website right here is completely built out with Kajabi. So unlike Skool, you actually get a complete website as well. So you're not just getting a community area to host the courses. So you can customize this however you like, put videos on there, landing pages, contact forms, have video players, etc. And then you can send everyone over to these beautiful landing pages where you click on the course and then it goes down here. And this is all, again, completely custom, or you can download templates to get yourself up and running. You can add different elements, add buy buttons, add videos, paragraphs. It's probably one of the easiest website builders that I personally use. I also have websites hosted on Shopify, which is an absolute nightmare. I hate using Shopify sometimes. It just sometimes you download a template and then it just doesn't have a simple text block or something stupid. So this is a pleasure to build in, and it always manages to look how I want it to. Now, of course, when it comes to the pricing on Skool, it's $99 per month, but that doesn't include a website. So as I just showed there with Kajabi, for around $200 per month, you get a website plus a community area, plus your course hosting, plus email marketing, plus a bunch of other stuff. Whereas Skool is literally just the community area, so you will still need a Squarespace website, a Shopify website, a Wix website. So again, that's another additional monthly cost that then increases the price. Then if you did want to do more advanced email marketing, not just email broadcasts, but actually proper landing pages or email marketing, you'd need either ClickFunnels for your landing pages, which is another monthly subscription, and then also something like MailChimp for proper email marketing. So you're probably more looking at $400 per month to $500 per month for all of the tools that you would require to run this at a decent scale. And then obviously the more traffic you get, the bigger those monthly costs become with the likes of ClickFunnels and MailChimp. So when you start to factor things like that in, Kajabi starts to look a lot cheaper because it's an all-in-one platform. It's absolutely everything that you need. And I'm on the Pro plan here that gives you 100 products, 20,000 members. You can even have up to 40,000 members with Kajabi Access. It doubles everything for just a little bit more per month. But this gives you everything you need to run an online business and an online academy straight out the box. Now let's address this issue when it comes to the transaction fees with Skool. So it says Skool has 2.9% transaction fees, which are the cheapest transaction fees. Down here it says Kajabi has 4.9% transaction fees, and Stripe apparently has 4.9% transaction fees. Now, I have no idea where they've pulled these numbers from. It's absolutely crazy. So let's take a look at Kajabi, for example. Kajabi has 0% transaction fees. Now, what this is referring to is, I've used Kajabi for over 2 years now. It's referring to the fact it doesn't charge you anything extra on top of the purchase. So when you use platforms like Teachable, when someone purchases an online course, you automatically lose 2.9% to Stripe or PayPal Business because they have their transaction fee. And then what Teachable would do is they were dead cheeky and sometimes charge 2, 5, even 10% on some plans on top of every transaction. So that would mean, let's say you were losing 3% to Stripe, 2% to Teachable, you were losing 5% on every single transaction. Whereas Kajabi have 0 transaction fees, so the only money you lose is 3% to Stripe or PayPal because they're the payment gateway provider. That's just how it is. So then I thought, right, that's really bizarre that they would say something like that, like 5%. Where are they pulling that from? So I thought, is it maybe something to do with Kajabi Payments? So Kajabi recently introduced a new feature that is called Kajabi Payments that allows you to now accept payments via Apple Pay, and a Google Play Store like Google Pay, and something else, like basically those more advanced things that you would see on Shopify as a way of checking out. So I thought, has it got something to do with Kajabi Payments? I don't currently use Kajabi Payments because I'm in the UK and it's only really available in America as a way of accepting payments on Kajabi. So I went ahead and did some more research on this matter before coming on the internet and spouting nonsense. And I went ahead and looked at the help center on Kajabi, and it says, even if you're using Kajabi Payments, which is the alternative to Stripe and PayPal now, directly on the platform, they are still charging the exact same 2.9% industry standard. That never in a million years adds up to 4.9%, nor does Stripe even add up to 4.9% because that is 2.9%. It's been 2.9% for an eternity. So something like this instantly irritates me about Skool. Now, I like what Skool has to offer, but just that sign-up page just loses trust instantly if you actually know what they're talking about here. It's just very sneaky that they're claiming that they're the cheapest in the market when it comes to transaction fees, when they're exactly the same. They're 2.9%, just like Kajabi's 2.9%, just like Stripe's 2.9%, just like PayPal is 2.9%. Anyways, I digress. You know, it is what it is, but it's just something to point out that's a little bit annoying. So when you come and sign up for Skool, I'll leave a link down below in the video description that will give you some extra perks as well, I believe. So this link here will get you a 14-day free trial. Try out the platform. Now, for something like Skool, I think 14 days is perfectly fine because it's such a simple and generic community builder. It's very, very easy. However, on Kajabi, I can get you an extended 30-day free trial with the link in the video description down below. This is 16 extra days that you get completely for free. You just usually get 14 days on Kajabi. So if you use that link in the description below, you'll get 30 days on Kajabi completely for free. That will give you loads and loads of time to build out a very fancy website, because Kajabi, you need to build the main website, plus obviously the community area, and then you need to build out some landing pages, and then maybe even customize your course player to do different things that you want, add some gamification even into that. So that 30 days will give you loads of time to just perfect and nail it, and then have the website go live without it costing you anything for that 30 days to build it out. But now let's actually go on to how Skool works and its biggest pros. I think actually it's pretty clean. So this right here is an example of a Skool community area. Very simple, very generic, what you've seen a million times on any community area, any Facebook group, any social media tab, which means it works. They've not reinvented the wheel with something that you're like, what the heck? So everyone instantly that joins this community knows how it's going to work and not need a tutorial video explaining how to break it down. So this is the main community tab. On here, you can create sub-discussions and folders to basically split up different categories. Now, the cool thing you can do is as a creator. Now, I'm going to be doing a full video where I show you how to create an academy on Skool from the very beginning, taking you through every single step that I'll be doing when I've built mine. That video is already done, but it'll be getting uploaded in a couple weeks' time. So make sure you subscribe so you don't miss that when it goes live, and I'll put it in the YouTube card once it is on the internet. But what you can do is you can create separate discussion areas and tabs, and you can change the permissions based on who can and can't post within these tabs. So for example, you can have one where only you could post plus an admin. So then that way it doesn't get all cluttered up with all the pointless conversations people might be having within the community area. Then you can have one that's more devoted to the actual community and them talking to each other and actually being a community. But it lets you split things up and organize things so things you actually want your community to see doesn't get lost within all of the chatter. A bit like when you're in a group chat with like 30 people and you just miss things. You never ever see anything. So this is sort of the main hub of how that looks. You can post pictures here, you can post videos here, lots of different things. Then inside of the Classrooms tab, I absolutely love this. Now, the original founder of Skool was originally a guy that sold online courses. So he's tried all of the apps out like me, Podia, Teachable, Kajabi, Thinkific, all of them. And he knows all of the pros and cons that come from that from a builder, but also from a customer using them. So when you watch an online course with him, I love this feature that he's implemented. So for example, when you watch a course on Udemy, if you just click next, or Podia as well, it was really annoying. If you like literally click next at the bottom tab and it takes you to the next video, it would automatically sign off the last video as if you'd finished it, even if you just watched like a couple minutes of it. So that means people that are browsing around trying to figure out how long the next module is, it would accidentally tick things off that they hadn't actually watched. So your students would end up missing things and then having a knowledge gap essentially within the course. Whereas what this guy's implemented is super cool. You can sit and watch the video like you would within here, all cool. And then you can go ahead and just manually mark as done like a to-do list. So you can mark that off as done and move on to the next video, mark that off as done. And then that way the student's actually engaging and ticking it off as they go. It also helps a bit with motivation because they're like, oh, that's another one done, like a bit of dopamine to keep them engaged and actually watching. Now, one of the coolest things with these classrooms is the levels. So if you go over to the leaderboards, they implemented this nice gamification element to it. So you've got all these different levels that people can achieve, almost like false status within the community tab. And they'll go, oh, I'm level 8, oh, I'm level 5. And you can do this by achieving different tasks, whether that be watching courses, whether that be how many times you've posted, whether that be buying a premium subscription, completing certain tasks, helping other people in the community. That will give you points to essentially level up. And then you go to level 2, level 3, and so on. Then you can see here all the leaderboards of people who are first, second, and third. So it's very nicely gamification, as they say, to make it more engaging. Because a lot of the times you'll sign up to some communities and there's nothing going on in there. My word, like you'll join a community and there's no incentive for people to actually communicate, as silly as that sounds. So it's just dead. So it's dead from both the creator perspective, but also that creator doesn't have their community then engaging and adding value to it. So they have to create lots of original content. So me as the creator would have to then devote loads of hours out of my week to keep that community alive and foster engagement. Whereas stuff like this allows you to manufacture that engagement organically. And then that way it becomes a self-sufficient asset the community is just being dealt with by the people inside of it, and you don't need to worry about it other than with like main flagship posts. So I enjoy that. But this also then, as I said, allows you to close areas off of the course. So as soon as I hit level 2, I can then watch the secrets course. So it's incentivizing me to ask some questions within the community tab. Now, I'm not really too bothered about what level I'm at. I personally would prefer people not to know I'm in this community. I don't like people knowing what we're doing. We make videos on the main channel here, and people will copy it like crazy. I bought the coolest Xboxes in the world, the coolest PlayStations in the world, or I'll go find unique products like this. 6 million views, and then some dude will just go buy it with the link and just make the same video and do 3 million views without hours of researching and finding special things. So I get annoyed when people know what I'm up to, and I'll talk about in a moment why Skool has a huge design flaw towards this in terms of like competitor research. Because an analogy my granddad would always say when we would go fishing as kids is if we bumped into someone on the fishing bank and they were like, "Oh, did you catch anything, lads?" We'd be like, no, not caught anything. Even if we'd caught 10 salmon, he would go, "Benjamin, don't say we've caught anything because you don't want people to know where you're fishing because they'll want to go fish on that bank too." So there's a little phrase we say in the family is, don't tell anyone you've caught anything, because then everybody knows where you're catching fish and making money. Yeah, everyone's too like, "Oh, I'm making 10,000. Like, look at this guy here, Ted. Teddy's like, "Oh, look at me, I made $10,000 this month." No one cares, Ted. I'm sure you're a nice guy, but no one cares that you made 10 grand. But a guy like me sits and reads this and go, "Oh, buddy, I could make 10 grand as well. In fact, I could maybe make 15 grand. I could maybe make some better videos than this guy." And then you'll make 5 grand per month because someone is now copying what you're doing. And then all for what? A little bit of vanity within the community tab. Anyways, when it comes to the customer experience of using Skool, I think this is very, very nice. So, for example, this is Hormozi here, huge YouTuber, like 3-4 million subscribers, I think now. He has a closed off group. He does like self-improvement for young lads. So he teaches them how to get fit, how to get girls, how to be more confident, how to get promotions at work, how to just basically improve themselves, an all-round character. Now, his community right here has got 65,000 members, which is absolutely off scale. And he, of course, has a degree of payment to this. There's paywalls to access different courses. And I believe he made a video where he said he was making like 80 or 100 grand a month off of this community, which is pretty mad. But what he's done is very, very clever. So he's forced it where you have to answer a series of questions when you join the community area. Because I first thought probably one of the biggest weaknesses of Skool would be the fact you can't gather email addresses in an efficient manner. So when you host your website on the likes of Kajabi, when somebody purchases a course from me on Kajabi, I get that customer data instantly. So they click the buy button, enter their email address, enter their name, and then that goes straight into my analytics dashboard. And I have all of that customer information to remarket to them, which gives the business stability. One of the biggest problems about being a YouTuber is you've got millions and millions of followers or 500,000 views or whatever doing XYZ, but you don't own any of the customer data that's coming through that channel. Same as well on TikTok. You got 300,000 followers on TikTok. If your account gets deleted, all those years or months of effort and work you put into that asset is gone, and you have no fallback. Whereas by having a website like a Kajabi, as soon as someone buys an online course or signs up to a newsletter or does whatever, we can collect tens of thousands of email addresses to then give you that base of loyal people to go, right, oh, we've lost the YouTube channel, something's happened to it. Send them an email, we're now on this platform instead. And at least a percentage of them will come over, and it's better than starting from absolutely nothing again and being a nobody. So my biggest apprehension with the likes of Skool was, how am I going to get people's email addresses? Because you are still just a customer of Skool. You're using their platform. So anyone who signs up and creates an account on Skool creates a Skool account, not a Ben Rowland's music account. So Skool's getting all of that customer data. Alex Hormozi is creaming it in with all the email addresses, and he's the one making the real money right here. But what Hormozi has done is genius. When you try and join his gang, he has it right here where you have to enter the email address. He says, what's your email address? And then also you'll be automatically signed up to the mailing list. And there's no way to enter his community without entering an email address within here. So that's instantly resolved a problem that I thought Skool would have. Very clever by how he's leveraged that feature. Second feature is also asking why they're going to use the community. Most people have no idea why somebody's purchased something. Like a website, for example, will send you a survey and go, how did you find our website? I found you through your YouTube videos, Hormozi, and I clicked the link in description. Pointless question. Where did you see our ad? I've seen it on Facebook because you were promoting on Facebook. You can track that anyways. You don't need to ask me that question. Would you stay with us again at this hotel? Stupid questions. Whereas he's asked, why are you going to use this community and why are you going to engage in it? Like, what are you going to interact with and how do you plan to use it? So then someone will go, oh, I'm going to use it because I want to get a promotion at work, and I'm a bit nervous. I struggle to speak in public at the moment. I can't do presentations. So I'm hoping maybe I'll be able to talk to some people in the group, watch some courses, and develop confidence so I could go and do a presentation that will get me a promotion at work. And he could read that as an input as to why someone's going to use the community and completely transform his strategy. Now, another thing on the exploration tab when it comes to the Discover communities, you can see here there's a bunch of people hosting their courses and private groups on Skool that you might just find as a customer of Skool without looking for them or knowing that they even exist. I've seen loads of communities on here, like this guy here, £10,000 a month club, like 10K club. No idea who this guy is. No offense. I'm sure he's a great guy. No idea who he is. When you go and click on his thing, he has like 300 YouTube subscribers. So he's got 300 YouTube subbies. When you go over to his channel here, so 300 subs there. Then you go over to his Instagram, and on his Instagram, he's got about 20, 30,000 followers. Pretty decent sized account, but nothing too crazy. He's still managed to somehow, though, funnel over from that pretty small group of people, if we're honest, compared to like, what you could have on the internet. He still managed to funnel over 8,000 members to a private group, and he's charging them $99 a month, it says somewhere. Yeah, there, elite membership, $99 per month. So clearly, people have found this guy's community somewhere else. He maybe has some other social media things that I'm not aware of, but there could be a degree of people finding it on this Discover tab. Definitely for some of these communities that I've came across that have like no social media following, but somehow have 3,000 members off of here. There's definitely people browsing around because you can see how easy it is. I could look at music, for example, here and go, oh, what are people doing in music? Oh, I like guitar. Oh, I like this. Obviously, I do music as well, so I could use this as competitor research. This is another, obviously, downside of Skool. So obviously, because Skool is a public platform and fundamentally they want to get as many users on there as possible and show how healthy the platform is, all of your success is visibly displayed on the internet. Now, in my opinion, I think the fact that the success is so visual is a bit of a negative when it comes to this platform. And let me explain. So people like me, they'll go onto a platform like this and they'll browse around and go, oh, this guy's got 23,000 members doing music. What is he doing? So they'll click in, join the community, figure out what they're doing and go, okay, I think we could do something like that. Maybe if we only got 5%, 10% of what he got, we could definitely do this. And I think that video is a bit rubbish. We could maybe do it in this style instead and make a better product. And then inevitably over time, if you did do that, people could gradually start to steal your business model and what you're doing. Exactly like what happens on YouTube, because everyone can see how many views you get in a video. People copy your video, they copy the products you feature, they copy the script, literally exactly what you say. And it's just a complete, never ending thing of putting fires out because people are always aware of what you're doing. Now, if you're hosting your courses on Skool, everyone's going to know exactly what you're doing and how much money you're making because it's 2,000 members paid. 23,000 members paid. You go over to, the business tab and you go, okay, what are people doing here? Bloody hell, 8,000 members paid. Oh, I could teach people how to do a YouTube channel way better than this person. But, that's got 40,000 members. Wow, okay, they're doing that for free, but how are they actually making money? Click in it. Okay, they've got So there's all this data that people can just pinch and look at. And there's a load of people out there that are just clever enough in the world that can figure out what you're doing and make a better version of it. It's not rocket science. Whereas if you host your website on the likes of Kajabi, it's completely private. Nobody on here has any idea how many people are watching my courses, any idea how many sales we've had on each product, who signed up to what, how many people buy this, how many people buy that. So you just come on here and you don't know. You just go, okay, he's got a lot of reviews on these products, so people enjoy the product. But has he sold 1,000 courses, or has he sold 100,000 courses? Has he sold 10,000 courses? Has he sold 2,000 courses? No one knows. So that way it keeps the success private and behind closed doors, then that way it's much less copyable from people that you're trying to figure out business model. In conclusion, I do think Skool is a very capable platform. I think it's a very fast and easy solution to get things set up. For example, we've been trying to set up a Discord server because of how huge my Gen Z audience is on our technology channel. They use their Discord. They love using Discord. But I personally don't use Discord because I'm a very busy guy and I don't have time to go talk rubbish in community with people about games or something like that. So I don't use Discord as a social media platform for myself that much personally, other than for voice chats. So when I was trying to set up the community area for Discord, it was so stressful. All the admin roles, all the bots, all the automation, all the different closed off areas, or if you accidentally set that wrong, someone could invite someone to there and then they get that content that they shouldn't be getting. I just found it an absolute headache to try and get set up, and watching tutorials was a nightmare, to a point where I literally was going to just have to pay someone to build it because it was just taking way too much time. Whereas something like Skool could provide the exact same solution as a Discord server, plus some easier features to get it set up and more professional features like easier ways to take payments, for example, directly within the platform with pretty decent transaction fees rather than Discord taking a massive cut, or even a YouTube membership where you have a YouTube membership and YouTube takes like 30% of that or something ridiculous, and then they get access to a Discord or a community area. So I think it's a fantastic solution that I will definitely be trying out for some of my YouTube channels that don't require a big fancy website, but they do need a community area where we can talk about other things that we can't necessarily discuss on the main YouTube channels. And I do think the relationship now with Alex Hormozi will definitely improve this app and add a whole load of new feature sets that we haven't even thought of in the near future. So don't forget to check out that link down below in the video description for both Skool and also the extended 30-day free trial to Kajabi. It's worth just using both of them, trying them out and comparing the platform to see which you actually prefer, which you get set up the quickest, which is the easiest for you to use on a day-to-day basis, and then go with whichever is the strongest option. If you're still unsure about which is the best online platform for you and you want to see other options when it comes to hosting online courses, you should check out this video next, where I break down 7 alternatives to the ones mentioned in today's video.